Biggest
but it stays
connection.
directly underneath my head.
The group to help
When those
people
two
meet
meet,
friends
People
and
stand in the back instead
Yeah.
of sitting down.
So if I were to lean down far
Yeah.
enough, it would trigger.
pretty
It
big.
might sort of.
Pretty
I
big.
usually don't do that, so
it
it's
might
fine.
sort of blend in, but the flag is also really colorful.
Yeah,
Good
I still
community.
don't
And there's
understand it all,
contacts
but,
on
but
here
I see
to-
parts of it.
Hi,
And if
Katie,
I ever dig into
welcome.
that,
So like this could work. with
Oh,
the
that's for
game,
There's some
like your
seats in the
avatar.
Yeah,
back
you
and
might
there's
see
some
that there
seats
is a
in the
big
front, wherever
contact
you're more
around my
comfortable.
avatar. Just a map,
yeah,
it's a
a
big sphere.
large.
We're just trying to
That
get
is detected
everybody
by this.
seated, and we're gonna
So if
start
I do a
soon.
fist gesture and then
So
move
that way
move it
Hey,
out.
Jake,
the
good to
flag's
see you.
like
You
above
made it.
everybody. Yeah.
Oh,
Hey,
wow.
I
how's
think
it
that
going?
works.
We're discovering
But that
avatar
you see,
magic.
Let me see.
if I move my stuff in and out of that, it
Yeah,
activates
yeah.
that contact. If
Go
it is
look in the
out of the
front.
contact and I do a fist gesture, I can spew fireworks everywhere.
Oh my.
Which means I can't accidentally activate unless I actually like push my stuff out.
Hi, teacups. We're back here
Hello.
watching the magic.
All right.
Yo.
I guess we're gonna
It's
start.
mostly just body acting. Right, let me sit down.
Hey there.
I don't need a chair.
Ha!
I got
There
my
it
own.
is.
Everybody ready?
I see an astronaut.
Oh, we still got a couple.
Hi,
of
Sim.
All good.
Jeez, there is one here.
Hey, Geek.
I have an
Alright.
Freeze
avatar
chair.
over.
I will balance my
oh,
stuff
you're
on the
what?
arms. That's how I'm
I
gonna
have
sit.
to size myself up and
Hi, Geek.
wave my
I'll have
flag.
to enable your avatar.
Should sync up
What's
to
the
that
flag
point, I
for? Are
think.
we having a race?
Oh wait, you made a Reddit post, didn't you?
Aha,
The
yes.
presentation stays
I was like, I
under
recognize
I have since
you.
updated the system further, but yes, I was on. I got popular on the VA chat Reddit.
Me
Okay.
as a timekeeper to make sure everyone's flowing with the time and not taking too much.
Hello.
I wonder, can I turn this off?
Ah, okay,
Hello.
that makes sense because without somebody to
Someone can
hold
hear me.
that role,
Oh my god, I just turned all of my avatar culling off.
It just kind
I've done that before.
of it's a bit
All right.
chaotic and just takes whatever time
I-
people take.
Oh,
So yeah, well,
Yeah.
thank you for doing that.
oh, they're starting the event.
You for being
I need to. How do I reload? Resync? Does that work?
And Carl's here.
It's showing June 2025 blank slide for me.
All right. Okay.
Hmm.
It should be on agenda now.
I
Mhm.
don't.
Here's for me.
Don't see agenda.
I'm gonna resync.
No. Okay.
I see
If
it.
you,
I see it.
If you all click either resync or reload, if you don't see agenda, it's up there.
Mary, you're also really quiet
yeah,
too.
I would try the reload
yeah?
button and then
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can turn.
Oh, yeah,
the
I see it.
resync was not working for me. Yeah.
VA chat, everyone.
Sorry.
Networking, it works so well. I'm using this advanced technique called lying.
How's the way down now? Am I loud enough?
Oh,
Yeah.
A little
you
bit,
got it.
yeah.
yeah.
Got a boost.
Mhm.
Okay, cool. All right, I had it down to like 40%. That's weird. All right, so this is our anniversary event. Exciting. Emojis are welcome. So let's have a little bit of like
Let's use
preliminary
text
celebration
action.
emojis. What do we use when we're celebrating? Let's see them come up. Yeah. I see candy. I see
Snowflake's a customer for
pineapples.
VR chat.
Yep. Cool. All right. Oh. Shouldn't be on 7 already. Okay. Oh, it's offset. Okay. That's weird. All right. Let's go back to agenda. Okay. All right. So we're going to start this one sort of the same as usual, but we do have some special stuff for the anniversary, sort of in the middle. Oh, GJ's here. So we're going to start with State of the Bridge, and then we've got an anniversary video. And then Venya will do a section on 1 year progress report. And then Scott will give us a brief on the workshop we'll be doing today, which is the Campfire Bridge. I'm super excited to see that in person. So, yeah. Oh, Okay. So, State of the Bridge. We do a customary growth and edges. So, oh yeah, one more thing in case you didn't already hear, this session is recorded and streamed to YouTube. So, yeah. Yeah. Having a little trouble like clicking. Next slide. Alright, so first of all, I want to say thank you to our current server boosters on Discord. Just a little shout out to you guys who help keep things like file sharing and animated emotes. So thank you to these awesome people. Yeah, so I kind of had the idea of building like a tree of welcomes. So this is like everything started with Heya and Llama, and each branch is like someone who was introduced, who then went on to introduce someone else. So this is like a tree of how Bridgemakers got all connected and all the people in it. There's a key on the side on the right here. I managed to fit all the helpers and members in. Other than that, it was a bit of a struggle. I was very surprised how many people are making up with this tree already after only 1 year.
I think you're missing a few names, actually.
Oh yeah? Are you not on
A
there?
couple.
No. But I also think there's some other people that are missing from that list.
Yeah?
Kibble brought me in.
Who else? Kibble brought... Oh yeah, Kibble brought you in. Okay. Well, most of the people here are helpers and members. You're a member, aren't you? Alright.
Yep.
I will make an amendment to that. I'm not standing for that. We've got to bring Geek back in here. But yeah, so other than the odd person I missed, it took a long time to come up with this. But yeah, so, and then we've got the core leaders and advisors at the bottom here to the little watering can to help water the tree. Some of these people you may recognize, others you may not, because they are a bit more behind the scenes. But yeah, and on the outside here we have the other VR chat groups that we are kind of connected to because of the awesome people here. And yeah. Now we have a little video that we prepared. Kind of sad that neither Heya or Llama can make this, but I'm sure they'll get an opportunity to see it afterwards. Oh, damn. Let me just ask everyone to turn their world volume up for that when I get back to it. Okay.
You know, I also want to congratulate Heya on 1 year of the community anniversary. I've been in VR. There are in VR to meet. And what I appreciate about Heya is kind of creating this community that's built for the purposes of growth and supporting community leaders. because these communities are so important for us to have places to meet one another, to have rich conversations, and to be able to grow. So without facing the potential burnout of getting these communities up and off the ground, you know, we wouldn't have these rich spaces to meet up in and grow together. So thanks, and happy 1-year anniversary.
Human on Purpose is an event series in which we delve into our emotions while exploring worlds in VR chat. Heya has this model for how our emotions kind of dance, and Human on Purpose is based on that. It helped me develop my emotional fluency and gave me a heightened awareness of how I and others feel in moments of scarcity. I felt myself grow in the months I've been in Bridgemakers, and Human on Purpose kind of jump-started that, as well as, on a personal note, having many conversations with Heya, who shares a lot of wisdom and remarkably does so while asking for very little in return. So, thanks, Heya.
This place, this last year for me, has been kind of what I was looking for in VR chat when I first started out. Before I found Ancients, my main community, I was looking for like adult discussions, debate worlds, and wasn't really finding anything. I didn't really know what I was looking for. And so when I did originally like do a survey that I got from Gegenshine, I really liked the direction of the questions. So I looked into Bridgemakers, and it's been pretty much my home away from home online, if anything. I've really enjoyed spending the time I have with all the people I've met here, and I've made some of the deeper connections that I've made in my time in VR chat. And especially when it comes to somebody like Heya, who puts in so much effort and time and just energy, brain power into trying to help people. You know, like I said in the beginning, I try to help wherever I can, and seeing somebody who makes me feel like I do nothing and they're a superstar has always been kind of intimidating but impressive. So just want to say, congratulations to everybody. 1 year Bridgemakers. We're going to keep on growing, and thank you to Heya for everything you've done for this community and every other community you touch.
I'm just thinking back to around this time last year. It was a rather challenging time, actually, for me in virtual reality, just dealing with different groups with their own challenges at the time. And on top of that, just a challenging time in physical reality as well. And so I just think about how I was consulting with Heyu, but not just consulting as an advisor, but also just chatting as a friend, and thinking about Heyu's support as he guided me through some of more challenging situations I can think of, even just dealing with moments where I didn't feel like even opening the menu in VR chat and just wanted to log off. So it's it now, and think of just how much abundance there is now with the flower beginning to bloom for Bridgemakers from that seed she planted with Molly. So thanks to you, Hey, and thank you for that. And a lot of people here appreciate you for that. So thank you.
Deeply grateful to Dr. Ruth Diaz and to Molly Arance for making this possible for us. It's a bold vision, a vision that was rooted in compassion and courage, and the belief that even across our deepest divides that we can choose connection. And in just 12 months, that vision came alive through powerful events, and it's become more than a name. It's become more of a transformation, a space where moderators and leaders and community builders could come together to learn, to grow, and to lead with our hearts. And that wouldn't be possible without all of the time, effort, blood, sweat, and tears that has gone into making Bridgemakers what it is today. Through Ruth's leadership, we didn't just talk about change, we created it through all these different wonderful events and all of the amazing things that are happening on our Discord. We held space for the hard conversations, and we developed tools that help communities navigate conflict and misinformation and division. And through all of that, we become the living bridge. So today, I'm very happy to be here with my peers, with my community builders, and we're all learning how to be better leaders through Bridgemakers. And we celebrate our first year, but more than that, we're celebrating the power of community and connection. And thank you. And I look forward to what more we can do in the next coming years.
Hello, hey you. You're cool.
Hey yo, I just wanna shout out to you that you helped me grow in a lot of ways, not just in Bridgemakers, but also as a person. I really love the validation from you, and I see your effort. I would love to see you working with us in the future, in the long way and in the long run. Communities managing is a marathon, it's not a race. So let's work together and live long. We want to be the candle that shines the longest, not shine the brightest.
I have to give a really huge shout out to our leader, Heyu. I've been playing VR chat since 2019, almost 6 years now, and I've never come across a group like Bridgemakers or someone like Heyu. I joined Bridgemakers last year, towards around November, and I'm so grateful for how much Heyu has guided me and helped bring a lot of my ideas to life. Her vision and support have been really instrumental in making these meaningful gatherings possible. She was actually the first person in VR who really helped me see my potential and really helped nurture it into something beautiful. And I'm forever grateful for everything that she's done for me, and I'm forever in debt to her. And I want to try my best to really help take Bridgemakers to the next level in a way that she really visions it.
Alright, picture time. What's our word?
3, 2, 1. Happy birthday, Bridgemaker!
Happy birthday!
Kind of feel like walking on and saying, "Wish you were here, Heya." Yeah. All right.
Go YouTube.
It says she's here.
I need to reload, I think.
Is she hiding?
Okay.
I thought we were going to watch the Mr. Beast video next.
On the YouTube
stream. Let me check. Ah, there you
Watching
are.
a Mr. Beast video is never a good idea.
Up there. Okay. Was there anyone else I'm missing? Other than all of you guys? Alright. Okay, so we've got a few new helpers. Just to lower the tone a little bit. So Lau is now a helper. Is Lau here today? I don't think I see them. Okay. We also have Ray Toronto, Fosball, and Proactive Master. I don't know if any of them are here. Alright, well, we've got new helpers, and that's good. And no walkabouts. Okay, so, we're a little ahead of schedule, but Venia, if you'd like to... Oh yeah,
Yes.
Venia says...
I can get started, yeah. First I want to say thank you so much to all of these helpers, because especially in the past week, it's been very much crunch time. And it's been crunch time, not just putting
What
together
is
this
this?
anniversary setup,
Oh,
but
it's
also
a
thinking
community
very
for, like,
carefully about what our next 6 months and what our next year is going to be. Can everyone hear me?
Let's move
Everyone
out.
able to hear me?
out
Okay.
this.
What?
All good over here. Everyone can hear me. Sorry. I just got a
voices
note
carry
here
here, so
that
we just
my
need to be
audio
really
was.
quiet.
Am I really quiet? Yeah. Okay. Let me pull this closer. There we go. Can everyone hear me better?
I can hear you from the back.
Okay, gotcha. Well, we've been thinking a little bit, and I, in all of my consulting practices, live by 3 rules. 3 rules
Please
that
go
you'll
on
see
mute if you're going to be
all-
here, please.
Yes, please go on mute during presentations. We'll have a workshop later, so we get the time to interact and communicate with other people, but just want to get through the boring parts, but trust me, we don't make it boring. We make it exciting. So I live my life by 3 rules. First, get good, and then get better. And we do that by making mistakes, because mistakes make better plans, right? And when we consider that, we just want to benchmark our success, come to ground, ask ourselves, where are we? Where do we want to be? And then we forecast where we want to go. So over the course of the past year, because it's the 1st year anniversary, congratulations, Heya, and also to Bridgemakers, we want to do that, right? We want to benchmark and forecast, because I think we can all agree we're at good. So the question now is, what does better look like? What does growing with this community, increasing the quality of our interactions, increasing the amount of touch points we have with one another, peer-to-peer conversations, what does that actually look like? So we put together a survey, and that survey had several questions, but the most salient one among all of them, when we opened up the Discord and we brought everyone in about 6 months ago, came down to 2 questions. What do you want to learn as part of Bridgemakers? What exactly is your growth pattern? And also, what expertise do you think you can provide, right? So this creates somewhat of a ranked graph, and these were the results of the first survey. So I dug a little bit deeper into this, and I identified that there were several specific areas that were most important for us. Oh, it looks like that slide's not moving for me, so I'm going to quickly resync. Reload that. Okay. Is the slide progressing forward for everyone else as well?
With the resync, yes.
We should see programs we've kept. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh
we
no,
just
I
wanna
see
go back.
results.
Hit a refresh. The chat is being. Yep.
I'm gonna scoot my little butt over here and resync.
Did we not
So
put the
we should
animation
be
on
on
this
a
page?
slide.
We
We
did.
should be
yes.
on what we tried to do.
Oh,
Does
yeah,
everyone
that's
see
different.
what we tried to do?
Fix for me.
Okay, sounds great. So what we essentially did was we compared and we said, all right, let's triage this list a little bit. So when we started our programs, we kind of started down below here, because this is the stuff that we want to know. And you'll see that there's quite a lot of deceleration in the middle about what we want to know but have no expertise in, what we don't want to know but we have a great amount of expertise in. So we don't really want to spend too much time there. And then we really want to focus on what's above and what we don't. This was our growth setup. So we knew that we had plenty of opportunity for privacy and security and mental health and accessibility. We knew that our programs, because we couldn't do it all, right? We had to focus on some portion of this graph. We also knew that everyone really loved having the roundtable discussions and having the asynchronous chats in Discord, having conversations in a support group manner. And fun fact, that's actually a lot easier for us to deliver, right? So we started with a lot of that fruit. And it's bored because we have really great events in that area. So that slide did not change for me. Oh, there we go. So we've kept a few programs. First and foremost has been Street Epistemology, which I just want to shout out everyone involved in Street, especially Kibble here, if we can just give him a whole bunch of claps, because this event has absolutely taken on a complete and utter life of its own. It's been absolutely phenomenal to see a lot of people choose to walk 10 miles in each other's shoes, choose to think with each other about what it really means for us to empathize with people's values and people's worldviews, not just the way that they're feeling and not just how they present in a given day. So it's taken on such a big life of its own. And those structured conversations are not the only things that have helped, because we've also got support groups. On one end, Human on Purpose has focused specifically on our mental health, has focused specifically on how we can improve showing up for our own spaces. And then we've also got the Community Leaders Summit and the meetup that we're interacting in right now, right? And this is allowing us to step from the power of learning about ourselves to being able to cater to our spaces, catering to our communities, making sure that we understand ourselves enough to understand others. And that's an incredible amount of work that we've all accomplished over the course of the past year. I'd like to give us all like a big applause. Happy anniversary, happy 6 months. That was good. We did good. So pat on the back. We did wonderfully. So what comes next, right? We know that the programs that we have kept are working. And the question that we ultimately have is, what's missing now? So when we go back to that graph, and the slide didn't change again, but when we come back to this graph, we can see that we've made plenty of progress in that focused area where we were. And we've also covered the learning methods that have helped for a fair amount of people. And that means we've been able to contact and interact with and build relationships with and teach really great concepts that were needed in a variety of different ways in order to build things out. Now we know that there are some spots that we can really do with improving. If we can switch this over, you can change for me, I promise. You can do it. It's still not changing for me. That's okay. One moment. Apologies. I need to refresh. If others need to reload as well, you can do that over here. Maybe we need to improve the slide set, huh? Improve the way that the streaming works. Okay. You should be able, and everyone, do you see the where we can improve slide?
We can
Yes.
improve here is what
Mhm.
I'm saying.
Yes.
Perfect.
It says, and we could improve.
The next question that we now have is, how do we move upstream? So on one end, the question is, how do we formalize all the discussions we've had into formal knowledge? And also, how do we make sure that individuals' expertise are respected en masse, but individuals also feel like they have a mentor, someone who's bringing them into Bridgemakers, teaching, learning, doing that building setup, right? And then over here, you can also see that a vast majority of the things that we just kind of put off to the wayside for the time being, they're more technical in expertise. But you'll also notice there's a lot of people in Bridgemakers who have that technical expertise. So if we want to focus now on the more structural portions of Bridgemaker, because we've made such a great community, we can now start to build and scale and escalate. So we think, right, Heya and I and the helpers and the advisors, we think that this is a good direction to go. But the question before we do this is we need to benchmark and we need to forecast. And that means we have to bring this to you. right? This is part of the deliberative experience, is basically saying, hey, here's what we're thinking. We would like to now take a month to ask what you actually want better to look like moving forward. So if the slide moves forward one more time, we can see it. We're going. No. Apologies, y'all. I think it might actually be my setup.
Oh, you know what? I didn't add the animated thing on the side, so that's probably why it's timing out.
Oh, is it? Oh, we could time out.
Yeah.
That's probably...
We added a
Alright,
little
so-
animation for most of them.
Yeah. So Mary, just
Gotcha.
move your mouse around in a circle constantly.
Yeah. So if we can get the slide to progress. So we're going to be doing a pulse check. We need to benchmark and we need to forecast. So what does it look like? So I am going to be announcing in the next month a redo of that survey. And that survey has been so useful and so handy that I would like to make that survey a regular thing that will impact individuals quarterly or every 6 months or perhaps every year to kind of get a pulse check of what you actually are looking for from Bridgemakers and what we have the capacity, given the helpers and everyone else, to actually deliver to you. We want to be able to take all of the expertise that is in the room with all of you, and we want to turn it into those areas where we could really improve moving forward. Because street epistemology is fantastic, and we know we can do it. HOP has created incredible impacts for individuals, and we know that it can continue. And we also know that the community leadership meetups and these leadership summits have created huge resounding waves in your own communities. We're building better virtual worlds by teaching you, and we want to make sure that we have a survey that is laser focused on delivering that better. So that's my more business-esque welcome to Bridgemakers anniversary. Here's where we're going presentation. And now we get to move to more relational things and stuff like that regarding the actual events themselves. I do, however, want to plug more selfishly that starting next week, we are going to be starting, as part of this survey's feedback, a course on civil discourse in VR. I'll be teaching that myself, and it's very much an extension of street epistemology. We knew that street epistemology does really great things for y'all. We'd love to teach you how to do that yourself so that you can go off and build that in both your local and other virtual groups. So that's it. I'm done. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you, Brenna.
Sorry, wrong one. I was going for the beer. My bad. It would be me, wouldn't it? Yeah.
All right. So yeah, starting June 21st.
I'll throw the link into the chat right now for you to grab your seat.
All right. How many seats are left? Do we know?
I believe there are 9 left. I believe there are 9.
Has ticked down, possibly, but we'll see.
Potentially, yeah. It's been pretty crazy over the course of the past 2 days.
All right, and now we're going to have a little brief from Scott about what our workshop is today.
Yeah, absolutely. And I also wanted to mention, I think Tom Nickel may have a few words to share with the group, and maybe this would be a good moment to insert that if Tom is here.
Yeah, Tom, I believe, is here.
Oh, just keep going, Scott. Maybe there'll be another time, but go ahead. I'm all set for now. Thanks.
Okay.
Oh, okay, thanks, Tom. I maybe just take a moment here to grow myself a little bit bigger. I can't see over the couch. There we go. So thank you. Yeah, actually, I think it's nice that we're a little bit ahead of schedule because the workshop would be a nice event to have some room to breathe. So, one of the things that we try to do with the Leadership Summit is make some interactive workshops so we can come away with that, connected human experience. And what we did for this summit was create a world to allow us to kind of share some experiences with one another. So a couple of things I want to mention about the world for comfort is there is a little bit of white noise in the world, some crickets, and there'll be a campfire. We tried to make the volume for that white noise a little on the higher side for anybody hearing impaired, that may have tinnitus or something. So just for comfort, I wanted you to know about that in advance, because you can turn the world volume down a little bit if you want, a little bit less ambiance. There is also a a crevasse or a pit in the world. That's kind of part of the theme, but I just want everybody to know in advance, you can fall in the pit, and there is only one way out, which is to respawn. So I just want everybody to be aware, if you open your UI menu in VR chat, so not the emoji menu, but the UI menu, the front screen, there's a little recycle respawn button. So if you find yourself in the pit and you're all alone and you want to come back to spawn, just go ahead and click respawn, and you'll be able to get right back with the group. And once we get in the world, there's going to be some cards with prompts on what we can share as we circle up around the campfire. And those cards will have a little special surprise that we'll show and demonstrate in the world. So we'll be opening up a portal. I was taking a good count of our numbers here, and I think actually we have almost the perfect number for going into one world together, since we have a little bit of spare time. So we'll be opening up a portal, and we'll shepherd everybody into an instance of the campfire bridge. And I think that'll be right after we do our group photo here. So yeah, looking forward to the workshop, and see you there after the group photo.
Yeah. And finally, just a little shout out to everyone who helped with the summit, and yeah, Scott, big shout out for the workshop. Big shout out for Jose, who edited that video halfway through, and yeah. Good job, everyone.
That's an interesting one at the end.
Yeah, Theo is currently in the application of being a helper. I think that's why.
That's me.
Yeah. Oh, welcome. And yeah, so next summit will be well, at that day and time. Finally, picture time. Would everyone like to come to the front and join us for a group photo?
Come on,
Just like we rehearsed at the end of the video.
Outside the wall and crowd around Heya.
Oh no.
No.
Alright. I think normally Heya takes this picture. Would one of the helpers like to...
It says Heya's in the instance. I don't know where she is.
She's here facilitating the stream, but she's just AFK outside the wall.
See,
I
yeah.
can through my camera.
She unmuted today. From
She's
a
narrow.
the wall. Hey Jay.
Hold on,
Hey,
where's how do
hopefully
I
I'm
crouch?
not in the way of anybody. I'm just a little ghost, so I don't know where I can.
It's a big group. I
Am I
got
good?
everyone in right now.
Yeah, awesome.
Turn around.
Oh, I didn't get a chance to crouch.
Oh, you should sit on my head.
What is our word for today, everyone?
Oops.
What's the word?
What's the word for today?
Anniversary. Obviously.
Anniversary! Happy anniversary! Let's get some party poppers in as well.
There you go.
Yay!
Happy day.
Jesus.
1 year.
I got him.
There's the ball. Of
There's the ball. That's the ball of appreciation.
Yeah.
Is that going to Heya off screen?
Unseen torment.
I think we should just throw every ball that we've collected over
Yes.
the past year. I think we should, on a count of 3, collect every ball. Yeah, let's collect every ball.
I think that's gonna be a lot. That is actually a lot.
Yeah, it is. Alright, so on a count of 3.
We're doing this
1. Okay, we're just going. Here we go.
Alright, everybody go. Go.
Now we have a ball pit, and we'll call that a world. Yeah. Bam.
All on accident. Shit.
Look at all of those.
It keeps
every one of those
drifting to
reconnecting
ice cream
circles.
cones.
Yeah.
Are you gonna start throwing ice cream now? Playing Lilo and Stitch.
I guess that's what we're doing.
What?
Oh, I see.
I would make a ball pit world, but I think it would crash anyone who joined with all the physics simulations.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, could you imagine?
Be a bit much.
I believe in you.
The
You
ball
should
pit
do
is
it.
actually a shader simulation. It's not a physics simulation.
Yeah, that could work
It's
too.
even worse.
But
It's even
consider,
worse
what if
for
you
me.
did
Does that
it
mean
with
it
a
would work?
physics simulation?
Just use.
It's using shader
That'd be
magic to
janky.
approximate the positions of the balls and simulate
Yeah.
their physics without having real objects being tracked.
But how much RAM do we
I've
need?
got a
for
better idea.
We've got the
200
portal.
Exactly.
rigid bodies with
that? How
collision.
much RAM are we talking?
That's fine. I believe in unity.
I think it's,
Mary,
you
Mary,
starting the
could you
portal?
potentially
I'll just
do the
I'll
portal
just
for
die, I guess.
Alright, I'm gonna do the portal. Let me just switch it back. Okay. So portal will
We're gonna have to
go.
talk too, but we're gonna be talking about our worlds and shit. Or stuff. Excuse my French.
What's up, Armani? How you been, man? Oh yeah, good to see you too, man. Been a minute.
I haven't seen you since the paired
This
talks.
weekend.
Sup, girl?
I was gonna.
It's been so good, buddy.
Oh,
How you been?
Sim, you got a nice T-shirt on.
Awesome. Love to hear it.
Thank you. Yeah, I used the Bridgemaker's logo.
That's alright. We're sure with the
Hang on,
portal.
I gotta make sure that I'm not about to punch my throttle quadrant.
Sounds
Alright.
Damn.
Here is the portal.
Slightly. Ideally, you don't punch aviation simulation equipment, but
Yep.
you know.
Maybe don't. Yeah. Unless you want to send
she's
flying.
right
Here I am.
Alex to be
Come
Alex
to
to
the
be
portal.
Can you request? I don't see a request.
Alright.
Alright.
The ravine. Man, I can't kick this car.
So yeah, there is
fingerprints on it.
It does.
There's a
I hope you're not getting sick too.
There's the crevice.
Oh, there is very much global audio in here. Okay.
Oh god.
A friendly announcement too. I've put the boost mechanism on all of our voices to help us just hear one another better.
Okay. Does that mean that we need to turn on muffle? Oh wow, I can hear me now.
Shouldn't work.
Yeah, muffle won't work, but I find that if somebody falls in the pit with the boost on, they'll be able to hear us, even though they'll be below. So yeah, friendly reminder, if you fall in the pit, just respawn to rejoin everyone.
Those are big pits. That's a lot of questions.
Be right,
yeah,
Jenkins!
Oh my
so there's
God.
lots of Yeah, feel
I
free to
want to
try
turn
out the
off the
pit.
boost until the circle up sharing time.
I think Theo should try out the pit. Theo's avatar is perfectly suited to try out the pit.
Oh my god.
No, mine crashes if I fall
What
through
are
the
you talking
pit.
about?
Oh, fight the pit.
You've got a
Look at
ribbon,
you.
like a ribbon, like a rope for us to climb. Yeah.
Oh!
Yeah.
I get
So if everyone would like
Here,
to
I'll
choose
try.
a
Magic missile doesn't
question,
do anything.
we'll circle up
Make it
around the
stronger.
fire, and the question will be like a prompt for us to share.
No, that's way down there. Nope. Last time I fell,
I'm gonna shrink
Yeah,
my
audio is
avatar.
boosted, so keep that in
I'm
mind.
gonna
I've got
shrink
it
my
on
avatar so I don't.
without respawning.
I brought voices down to 25%.
I do have to say the white noise is actually really nice here.
I love the addition of the crystals and everything on the other side. It makes it like inviting
Yeah.
to get onto the other side. It's cool.
It feels like Final Fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we all have to
I
pick
kind
a
of
card?
expect like Nova
Yeah,
Crystallis.
everyone picks a card.
I'm gonna pick one randomly. That one.
And when
Yeah,
I pick
if
one
you'd
up,
like to share.
it's bigger than me.
We have prompts. So just choose a card.
Oh, this one might be a bad one for me. My daily routine's pretty
I'm
full.
going
to try and pick one at random, but this is going to be difficult. Let's see. I gotta.
I think I'm
It
gonna
means that I
like
have to
it.
get down here, and I'm gonna look
Lack
up,
of
and I'm just
spatial
gonna.
audio is really screwing with my head.
Oh, there we go.
Stimulated if I stay here any longer.
Is it possible
Are we,
for me to
what's
keep this
happening?
held without having my mouse button down?
Let's turn off boost.
The booster is really jarring.
I'm hearing that.
I'm just gonna
I'm
put
gonna
it
go
down.
ahead and turn it off.
Pibble's butt. My bad.
You have a Bridgemakers t-shirt. I want it.
I,
Oh my god,
I
Sid.
can pick one for you.
Oh, hey, KT.
Oh, my bad.
Yes.
I turned the boost audio off.
I didn't know those
That's
existed.
to find a card.
We should actually make a version.
Yeah, I randomly picked one.
Yeah, I actually added the logo.
Yeah, me too.
myself. I took the logo that Armani made and I placed it on the texture of my
Eat it.
model. So yeah, I'm.
Crash. They'll be in here in a second.
Been feeling better?
Also, I really like the logo that you did,
I
Armani.
know that you're super busy with like World Cup and stuff. I'm wondering if it might be possible.
Was your jacket
Looks really
safe?
good. I had been.
You'd seen some of my attempts, and I think you did a really good job. Much better than I could have done with, my
Yeah, we should definitely.
my overly corporate style. I feel like it looks very
Bridgemakers.
it holds true to the original logo, and I think it captures I think it captures everything very well. So
I think it would be really good as like a collection thing / maybe a reward for some people. And... Yeah, that'd be good.
Oh, I'm supposed to keep holding on to it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, like to show how long
Okay,
you've
I
been
know
with
I
Brickmakers or your loyalty to Brickmakers.
That is a fascinating avatar where you've got this kind of ribbon coming out.
It's awesome, dude.
Yeah, it's from a video game called Journey.
It's kind of fun how you got it coming from the campfire.
Armani, are we still streaming, or is this? Oh, we are? Okay. I just was checking. Oh, no, I just didn't know. I was just asking if we were. I didn't know if it was just for the theater. Okay. Cool.
I gotta remember to mind my French.
That's okay.
Oh yeah, we could do that, couldn't we?
Pretty
As a
good.
reminder,
No,
as
not
a reminder,
actual
we have
French.
19 minutes left. But
Hey,
since we're ahead,
you never know. You could,
should we make it like
not mind your French
more?
in French,
25
and
minutes
no one would
or
ever know.
30. I believe we're 10.
Now I gotta
15
go
minutes
learn
ahead of
cuss words in
schedule.
French.
Yeah, we
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
we're gonna
re-download
have to have
Duolingo.
Download
We're
Duolingo.
going until.
Well, I hear the AI is more happy to
For
teach you
another
those
hour
words
and 10,
than other people are.
Yeah, we'll say another hour and then like
love sharing
kind of a checkout for 10 minutes.
Oh, they absolutely do. That's for sure. But I don't want to waste their time on Duolingo doing that.
Okay, 1 hour. Yep.
We have one
And we'll
little
get our-
staff
let's
guy
go
who's
ahead
a
and
little
get our
small
circle
French man, and I
started,
love
too.
him.
What did I get?
Yeah. I worked with exactly one French person, and that person did
Me
it
too.
circle.
Does this card look
just
huge
one.
on me? I mean, it's
What's your
so
card say?
crazy to me. It's like
I'm
bigger than my
looking for
avatar.
Oh, it says, how did you practice gratitude intentionally?
Hold all the way back here to read
I'm
it.
looking
Okay.
for one volunteer.
It says, when did you practice patience well?
Here you go.
That's
Kind of
crazy.
confusing.
I guess it's only
Yeah.
alters my perception, not
Stand
everybody
up,
else.
show the crowd. Scott is looking for the
Don't
Stand
cause
up,
me
show
coughing
the
fit now.
crowd.
For a volunteer
Gosh dang it.
that might be willing to
Hi,
start
I'm
us
the
off
crowd.
by...
I don't know why I haven't been able
Is
to
that
shake
you,
this
Perry?
cough,
Would
but
you like to start us off with, no? Okay.
Maybe once we're
Don't wanna
doing
start. Point.
the share here,
Oh, hey, see, there's
I can go.
space over here for you.
Yeah.
well, we do have a volunteer, but I was gonna say maybe once we start the share, then we can have the volume boost on, because across the circle is a little hard to hear, and folks next to me are quite
Yeah,
audible.
that's true. So, Armani, you're able to hear everybody okay for the stream?
Yeah, and
Should we
the
have
boost turns
each
off the
person
spatial
step
nature
towards
of
the
it.
campfire and speak each time?
I mean, that would make sense too, because we need to deposit our card, right, Scott?
Yeah, because then they drop the
Yeah.
card to... Yeah, okay, we
That's
can do
the
that.
secret part,
Okay.
is once you've shared,
This feels like a
you'll want to
Yuletide
deposit the
festival.
card into the fire. So who
Yeah.
was our volunteer, Carl?
Oh,
I can turn the boost on once
Somebody
we get
over
started.
there, I think it was Dawn.
Oh, Curious.
Yeah.
Is it Curious or is it Dawn? Oh, okay.
Crescent.
Dawn.
Close
All right, let me kick the boost on, but I'd just like to respect that it was kind of overwhelming to some people, and I want it to be a comfortable experience. So if we could try to, just minimize the white noise in the background, I'll turn the boost on. We'll see how it goes, but please speak up if it's like I can't take it. Like let us know. We
Yeah,
want it
you
to
can
be
always
comfortable.
turn voices down, and we ask that anyone not speaking kind of keeps their mic on mute, so any sudden background noises don't blow us out.
Okay, here we go. Let me get
Oh,
it
and then
set
do we want to establish from there that we'll go in order, so that way we don't kind of have ambiguity on who's next? Just go around the circle.
Yeah, good point, Carl. So, if after Crescent Dawn, after you go, let's kind of go in a clockwise motion here. So, if you don't mind, we'll go that direction. Yeah. So let's get the boost on, and we're live.
Do I stand closer to the? Yeah. All right. My question is, what emotion surprised you this year? For me, a lot of the emotions that surprised me this year was kind of feeling more human. For a very long time in my life, I've always been a bit of a workaholic, and I kind of put my work and the things that I do well above myself. And this year, specifically, like this month, I've been really trying to stop myself from doing that and kind of remind myself that I'm still a person at the end of the day. And less of like a specific emotion that kind of surprised me, but more so like a range of emotions, like being able to laugh and smile and cry and feel frustrated even. Those are very surprising to me because those are things that I've long suppressed for quite a while, and I'm kind of glad that I was able to recapture them, if that makes any sense. But yeah, that's mine. Do I just throw it in the fire?
Yeah.
Yeah, just go ahead and drop it in.
Good. Oh, there it goes.
Don't mind any glitchiness. It'll get there in the end.
I'm just playing the Stardew Valley music in my head.
Oh, that would have been great.
Virtual Pebble, would you like to go next, Breath?
Yeah. So the card I grabbed says, "What does it mean to design for something that's still emerging?" And I chose this one because I think that I'm most drawn to working fields that are emerging, and I think that's a lot of why I'm here. So for me, I really like just to be able to design in a way that's experimental and try things that are wildly different and see what happens. And yeah, I'm just excited to see how much everything changes each year and how things will pan out over the coming decades.
Way it goes. Black Orbit.
Okay, so hello, it's my first time here. So I took a question. It's what's changed in how you think about patience and pacing when building community? I choose this because like I didn't have the time to read everything and I had to choose something. And I haven't got the time to really think about it, but I guess it's like it's interesting. It's also like a reflection and a question at the same time of like how fast you building stuff influence the like how the community builds and move forward. Because like sometimes you can want to build something quick and like take all the opportunities around, and maybe it can be a little bit too soon, and sometimes like you can just let stuff happen. You don't have like maybe enough time to take care of everything, and stuff like are kind of accumulating in the background, and it can give you also at the same time some opportunities to do stuff you couldn't have done, opportunities to do stuff you couldn't have done before. You could have like made more opportunities, or maybe it would have been too soon. I don't know. So that's like a reflection and some questions and opening for discussion at the same time.
Thank you. Kibble.
Alright, so mine says, how do you reconnect with something you love? I really love this question because that's basically, you know, that's what a community is, right? It starts off with, you know, you're like, wow, I really love doing this thing. I wish, you know, more people would do this thing with me. So, you know, you go out and you go invite people to do the thing with you. You know, whether it's like reading or, you know, going on mountain bikes or, you know, making avatars or something. You know, for me, it's just connecting people together. I'm like, hey, look, here's a guy in the corner. You know, let's go invite him to the other people. And that's sort of, you know, like the very roots of a community. There we go. Throw that in there.
Boy, boy. Teacups.
Hi, my question is, what did you create that you're proud of? I've been working on a garden for like the past week and a half, and I think it's come along really nicely. I've been learning a lot. I'm surprised nothing has died yet. I took pictures, so I think they're somewhere, but yeah, very proud of that.
Nice. And Venya for this.
Yeah, so my question is, what was a meaningful risk you took? And for this, I have a little bit of a narrative. I started about 15 months ago a PhD, and I was invited to that PhD. I was invited to Australia, and it was what I thought at the time was the biggest risk in my life, to go from the States to Australia to start this thing that I had tremendous excitement for. And over time, as the PhD started to move, I realized that it wasn't the PhD that was the risk. It was the amount of communities that I ultimately ended up leaving behind. because every time the PhD moved forward, I felt like there was just one aspect of my life that would go away. And Heyu gave me a piece of advice. She said, PhDs are kind of like having an illness, a chronic illness. And it's one of those things you have to take care of yourself. But we also know that the number one thing people need for a chronic illness is the ability to connect and interact and feel like they're not alone, the ability to be around others. So she encouraged me, even though I had lost a whole bunch of communities, she encouraged me to at least keep this one. So every Thursday, she's been keeping me accountable and capable, and she's given me Bridgemakers. And Bridgemakers is the one community that I've been able to keep around. It matters. And I think the biggest risk that I have is increasing my participation here, knowing that the time away from the PhD is necessary, but that it is going to add more to my plate. And adding more to my plate is a good thing when it involves all of you. So I think the biggest risk I took wasn't moving across the country. It wasn't starting a PhD. It was choosing to keep the relationships around me. And I think that that paid off really well.
Thank you. Beautiful. There she goes. We got Alex DeBeans.
He's just sitting in with me on this one.
Okay. Little pair.
I got, what have you learned this year about what it takes to lead? And boy, let me tell you, I've learned a lot. Some of you in here know me. I was super active last year in VR. Up until towards the end of the year, I had to take a 2-month break, completely gone. What I learned about being a leader is you can't do it yourself. Because I was opening up instances super late, having to stay late and work them to keep everything running smooth, and that was killing me to the point where I had no willingness to put on the headset anymore. And I left, and I came back, and I started back slow, and I reconnected with my friends first. And then I've met new ones who, like Miss Alex here, is one of my staff for our group who helps me very much. So I've learned that you need people around you that are going to support you, care about you, and tell you when you need a day off. And that's what I got for you.
Yeah. Nice. All right, we got, it's one I never quite nailed down. Midge?
Midge, yeah.
All right, nailed it.
Okay. Right, my question is, what story about yourself changed for the better? So before I started playing VR chat, I was pretty socially isolated, and I was kind of an awkward person, and when I started playing VR chat, it kind of opened the whole world to me. I was able to meet a lot of people there, and I was able to grow as a person and improve my social skills. And yeah, I really appreciate VR chat for that.
Awesome. Thank you. The circle's a little broke up over there. I think KD would be next.
Okay. What happened to the card? What is something you're still curious to explore or learn about in VR, even after all these years? I don't know about after all these years, but I'm actually a visitor from the ancient technological past. And so I have coded 2,000-line long assembly language programs, that sort of thing, and built interfaces and all that. But I've not done any technical building in VR. So one of the things I would like to learn how to do is to do some technical work in this area. So really world building is something I'd be interested in learning and exploring. I'm not sure how to fit it in, but that's one of the things I would want to do.
Awesome. I know we got some folks in Bridgemakers that could help. Scott put this place together. George?
Or is it J next?
JW.
Yeah, I can't quite see from my angle. That works. Jay?
Ghosting here.
Ghosting. Yeah. Sorry about that. Yeah, so my question is inspired by Teacups, who is actually here. So, and the question is really interesting because it's something I have hanging on my wall for the most part, the answer to the question. And it's how does your love of art, language, and healing shape the kind of world you want to help co-create? And hanging on my wall is be the change you want to see in the world, right? So in many ways, I think it starts with my own healing, then helping to empower others through that, through art, through language, through just the sense of being an example of what I want to see in the world, right? And so it's kind of like that song "Man in the Mirror" is the best example I can give. Yeah, it starts with you, and that's how every community starts, right? It's each person, and then connecting together is what brings us together, is our common unity, the community. So that's what I look at it. I'll put this here.
I love that.
Yeah. All right, now it's George.
Oh, Man on the Mirror, that reminds me. I need to dance to some Michael Jackson one of these days. A healing moment I didn't expect was watching a bit of Sonic Boom recently because, Dawn, you were a reminder, and others were a reminder of me that I'd been so caught up in intentional, important things to myself that I was not giving myself any time to just have a bit of fun and just kind of let loose and just not try and achieve anything or do anything with that's like, just take a bit of a chill time, just relax. We need that. And it's inspiring to see people who give it their all. We still deserve some time for ourselves too.
Cool. Thank you. Gubsy?
So I got, what did you forgive yourself for? And, I forgive myself for trying to be perfect and embracing more imperfect imperfection.
It's a good answer. And then we've got, I can't see your name back there, Almighty Clap.
Do I have to speak like I'm broken tooth right now?
Oh, no. I mean, if you want to type something or if you just want to, internally answer it, that's up to you. So the question was, what was the favorite place to reflect? go outside or look outside, get that connection to nature. Yeah, have a good stare and think about stuff. I feel that one. And when you can deposit your question into the fire for us.
Sorry to hear about your broken tooth, Almighty. Hope you feel better.
Yeah. That's I've been there. Terrible. Then we got Tom.
Let's see, someone muted. Yes. Well, hi. I got one about an emotional need met more fully, and that's a tough one. I don't know what emotions are or emotional needs even are, to tell the truth, but I instinctively go to being a part of something bigger than myself, and being semi-old, being maybe regarded as an elder, makes kind of figuring out what that role is just a new thing, at this phase of life. And I there's a kind of peripheral participation that people here seem to accept out of me, and I really appreciate that a lot. And over the past year, I found different levels of participation to be in more groups, some in the physical reality and some in VR. So I think that mix of different kinds of involvement, kind of on my selfish terms, the way I want it, does serve an emotional need, and it's a pretty big deal for me. So thanks.
Yeah.
Boom. Did I miss? Try that one again.
Just barely.
Boom.
There we go. All right. And then we got Dravens.
So my question is, what did you learn from silence or stillness? And that throughout my time here, wandering through many of the other groups, meeting a lot of people, over time I've picked up small pieces of people I've met or come across, or just little tidbits from them. And I've noticed that with that, I need to embrace that stillness and quietness, to segment them into myself so that I may learn more from it and walk a better way in that regard.
Nice. Thank you. I guess that means I'm next. All right. So my question was, what stories or symbols still live with you from the spaces we've created? And I think in a general way, that just made me think of really was what I was looking for when I started looking for communities in VR chat. Like I said in the video earlier, during some of the events we've done, like, sort of, I know there were a couple specific times with Maka where there was, a character, somebody they related to during the episode that, I didn't give a second thought to, and hearing, their perspectives and things that, struck them heavily, that, and even in the, like with street epistemology or the Friday meetup even, where, we do the reflective listening, and I'm often hearing just the logic of the statements people are making, but the, people around me are giving back the emotion. So through that, I'm learning to see those things myself and recognize them and develop those skills. So that's exactly what I was looking for when I got on VR chat. So I'm very glad to be here with all you people. Let me go ahead and throw this in here. I'm in slow mode. Let me sit up straight and I'll move faster. There we go. And next, we got Ronin Otaku.
Okay, well, my question is, how did your definition of success evolve? And I suppose that what I come from is a background of large petroleum companies, so success is about results. It's about did you get what you planned on? Did you show control? Did demonstrate that you knew what you were doing? And I think that's the thing about success. It sometimes requires a different story at times. It requires sometimes failure. Sometimes it means that you have to try something and not succeed in the way that you expect, and maybe you'll never know whether what you did will succeed either with the group that you talking about it with, or whether or not in fact it's just going to go and grow on its own and you'll never know what it looks like. But what it has to do is, sometimes success is about confronting your doubts and matching it with your beliefs, and then working away and doing what you think you have to do. And if it doesn't turn out the way that you wanted it to, then that's also something that you have to take into account as part of the story of where you are and where that action.
Yeah. Thank you, Ronan. Next up, we have Geeknificent. You got 2 cards. You trying to cheat? Or you just deciding?
Oh man.
No, we can get
I was
credit.
muted.
Yeah.
Hang on. So, hang on, hear me out. I got 2 that actually played into the same topic for me, and they're so closely related, I figured, why not?
Okay. Allow it. 2 bricks, 2 questions, 1 answer.
Yeah. What personal value did you live out clearly? Well, I run a community that is in part based on the pursuit of knowledge or self-discovery. And so that is one of my personal values, to kind of, pursue what is true and verifiable information, but not just, scientific or mathematical knowledge, like social knowledge as well, like ways of living, culture, things that go overlooked in our daily lives. And so that is one of my personal values, to kind of find knowledge in everything in the world. Because, humanity didn't start with all the answers. They had to discover them. And that's what plays into the second one that I have here. In what moments did you realize leadership sometimes means not having the answers? Like I said, humanity didn't come into existence knowing all the answers at once. They had to discover them. And even as a community leader, we are always learning. Every single person in the world is learning every single second of the day. And that includes leaders as well. People see us as like these bastions of wisdom sometimes, these people that have all the answers, but the truth is we don't. We're always discovering new things. And whether that's through experiences in our community or experiences in our personal lives. In getting answers, we often have to discover them first.
Nice. Thank you, Ink. And we got GJ.
All right. So, my question was, I picked this card at random. How has your work with anxiety shaped the way that you lead and create a safe space? And this was inspired by Curious Kibble. But I found it to be kind of an apt question for myself because I came into Bridgemakers about July of last year, and I started attending the Human on Purpose events, which I eventually ended up facilitating, and I learned, among other things, probably one of the most important things that I learned is what anxiety looks like in myself and how do I recognize it, and also how do I recognize it in others. And that has transitioned my understanding of people, not just in VR, but also in physical reality as well. Because once you are able to pick up the signs in VR, you are very clearly able to see them in real life as well. And so that learning that about other people has been transformative in the way that I interact with others and the way that I carry myself. One of the biggest changes for me in the way that I create and lead a safe space. I've kind of been getting into this community building thing myself. I've created a couple different groups. They're really small at the moment, but it's a very high trust environment. They were created with people that I personally have like a foundational level of trust and trust with, and therefore I'm able to open up a little bit more to them. And when they see me opening up, I've found that they also have a tendency to open up, and that has helped definitely in myself, and I think as well for everybody else in those communities, just help get rid of all that anxiety that we go about our daily lives with. And I always walk away from those nights with those friends feeling refreshed, and I think that they feel very much the same. So carrying myself and sharing and being open has helped a lot with creating safe spaces and leading those spaces as well. So that's my answer.
Awesome. Thank you. Next up, we have Armani. Mhm. Bless this mess. That's what my mama used to say. Jay Sycamore, you're up.
Yes, right. So, what I got was, name a time you practiced patience effectively. Now, okay, so this is pretty hard for me to do because I do have impulse problems. I work in customer service at a bookstore. We do a cafe. Teens usually come in an hour before closing because that's when school lets out, and we're the closest place to their school that sells food. And they'll yell brain rot slap at us and makes me want to put my head through a wall where it'd give me a concussion, but at least it'll be nice and dark and quiet there. Anyway, so trying to figure out how to enforce rules without turning into a cranky old man. Yesterday, I think it was yesterday, like, there's some kids running around playing tag and, hide and seek. I don't know what they were playing. Whatever it was, it could have knocked over, like, a shelf, and we do have some breakable merch in there. Yeah, their mom was there. She wasn't doing anything, but, I mean, she was there anyway. So I asked her, excuse me, your kids are running around, I knew her from church. I said, your kids aren't running around, are they? And then she looked kind of guilty, and she said, I'll ask them to stop. The other thing is, I just don't want, one thing that is helpful is just, remembering when I was a kid and, these middle-aged men would just yell at me for what I felt were pointless reasons, and I had to remember, I was their age once, and I used to act up to, but yes, just let them know that one of the main things is that it's in their best interest for them to not horse around like that, because we have had kids get hurt because they were horsing off, goofing off, and actually one shoved one another into a book style. He actually cut his hand open pretty badly. So anyway, yeah, that's just an opportunity, just figure out how to calmly convince people, this is, while not, burning myself out. Yeah, so.
Yeah. Oh, good throw.
Thank you.
All right, we got Theo.
Yes, this is a very interesting question. I had a long time to think about this one. How do you practice gratitude intentionally? Let me get close to the mic so it's not too quiet. I think when we are in the moments of gratitude, it is the most important moments to balance ourselves fully. But something I was recognizing, not only that gratitude is absolutely necessary for being able to be open with one another, but something I found out in this moment is surrendering that this moment is so eternally impermanent and allows so much moments to become for what we are here and always have been, with everything that exists into the repeatingness, and our presence is always the most beautiful thing to the universe itself as it shapes its own forms. And surrendering to this moment is where we find gratitude, because the moment you are in this moment is recognizing even just how much it does for every one of us and for every moment of us Because we live not in this one moment. We also live in many other moments and within every possibility that we can become. And that in and itself, that awareness is surrendering that wisdom and understanding that this moment you have with yourself here is the most beautiful moment to express and recognize gratitude for every single moment there is to be and that there is now.
As always, it's a great share, Theo. Mary Vio, our penultimate. Or no, Sim is sliding to.
Alright, my question was, when did you listen deeply to someone else? I had kind of a couple different ways I could take this, but I think how I want to answer this is usually when I am listening deeply to someone else, it's in a one-to-one conversation, and there's no one else around, it's just us. But when I think back to when I first discovered Bridgemakers, Haya was doing this little dot model demonstration in some random public world, and I kind of wandered around. I was there to meet someone else, so completely there by accident. But I was kind of watching and listening to her describe this model, and that's kind of one of very few moments where I'm listening deeply in amidst a crowd. And I don't know, I feel like that's kind of what drew me into Bridgemakers. It was kind of a powerful moment. So, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Mary. Since I became the de facto name caller, I want to make Scott go last and Sim go next.
Yeah, so my question is, how are you seeing community, virtual or otherwise, differently now that you're a part of building it? So for me, the way I'm seeing community differently now that I'm a part of it is that I no longer feel like I'm going through life alone. For the longest time, I've always felt like I lacked human connection in my life, and being a part of building a community on here, for example, Bridgemakers, has helped me feel like I'm a part of a bigger purpose in life, something so much more bigger than myself. But also, I just never realized how much I needed people in my life. And being on here made me realize that, I no longer feel like I'm going through life alone. I've met so many people on here that shaped me to be the person that I am today, to be a better person and to constantly grow as a person, and just feeling connected to people, whether it's physically or emotionally, has helped me feel like I found a second family of some sort. A family that appreciates me for who I am as a person and not for how useful I can be to them, for me, who I am to the core. And I also see myself in so many other people that I've met, specifically at Bridgemakers. And even though I'm not the most verbal person, I just want to say that, I really appreciate all of you, and all of you have really changed my life for the better. And thank you so much to all the friends that I've made on here and the people that have really taken the time to just, stand there for me and guide me. Yeah, thank you.
You gotta put it in the fire now. I almost forgot to. And then before I fully turn it back over to Scott here to answer his question and guide us on the end of the activity here, I just want to point out and give some kudos to Scott through this world together in just a couple weeks here, and the whole concept was pretty much his idea. So I think this turned out beautifully, and I am very grateful to him for having done so.
Oh, thank you, Carl. And I also wanted to extend some gratitude for kind of guiding us through the circle as well. I think I speak for most of us. You have such a wonderful group voice to follow. So thank you for offering that. And I picked the card at random, and to kind of show how nice it can be to open yourself to randomness. This was my question. What kind of feeling or experience do you hope people take with them after spending time in one of your worlds? And this was a question by Evolka, who I don't think I've had the pleasure of meeting. But this was one of Evolka's questions on the Discord. And first, I think I want to go into some of the concepts that Armani was sharing, which is, if you paint a room in your house, you only see the spots that you missed. If you hold your card a certain direction, you can no longer read it because of the lighting. The boost mechanism, I'm feeling a bit guilty that didn't work in the beginning because we really needed the spatial for all of the initial chatter. And, I saw a couple of people express discomfort and even leave as a result of that. And that's kind of a small, paper cut that I'll take with me and give myself a Picard face palm for. But what I do kind of hope is, and I'm really glad Tom's here to hear this as well, because VR is a really meaningful experience for me. For this reason is that I was on a healing path when I found VR, and if some of you may have heard me say already that I've been waiting for VR since I was a 5-year-old boy, because I used to read the sci-fi novels, like Ray Bradbury, would talk about these concepts of being able to digitally connect in these virtual spaces. And I knew it was coming. I never expected it would take so long. But finally, in 2017, I started doing some gaming in VR. But what I quickly learned was that it was Altspace that I found, where I started meeting people, and there was these really rich, emotionally open and intellectually generous, creative, just rich, deep, spiritual people. And, I had been healing from a lot of difficult memories that I couldn't quite figure out how to shake. And I was working on it through a lot of different means, but what became a huge puzzle piece to that effort was these compassionate spaces that people like Tom Nickel built to get together for the purpose of being human, on purpose. bring the parts of yourself that you normally put away so that you don't ruin the mood at a birthday party. And I didn't know how to share that part. It was really uncomfortable to me because
I didn't grow up feeling valued, so I never thought if I shared who I was, I could be part of a group. And compassionate VR spaces taught me that I don't have to wear all these exhausting masks because there's room. There's room for everybody and how everybody felt and what everybody has been through. And that is what I try to bring to a world is, can you come to a place like this and can you put a piece of yourself on the table, and can you be loved for that, and can you always have a place that you know you can come and be yourself and you'll never be abandoned. And I just want to say thanks, and a huge, special, big, heartfelt thanks to Tom for showing the way of how to bring these compassionate spaces in VR to life.
And there we go. That's everybody.
And one feature. Oh, sorry, Carl. Good.
No. Unless somebody speaks up, I think we got everybody.
One of the features of the world that I will have to test out here is that our questions have built a bridge for us over the chasm. So if we built a big enough bridge with our shares, we should be able to take a group photo over by the crystals. So I'll try it out. I'll see if I can get across. If not, I'll respawn, and we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Well, that is too special.
Chasm or across?
That's awesome. I ain't even gonna lie to you, Chan.
That
Going to the crystal.
Oh,
I see.
I loved that. That was like beginner's guide level symbolism. That.
Since we're all grouping up, I'm gonna. Oh, thank you. I'm gonna turn the boost off since we're all grouping up now, so it doesn't drive everybody crazy.
What's lagging?
And I think if we array right along here, we could get a good picture with all three colors of crystal.
The green one.
I gotta turn my volume back up now. Okay. Let me get in here.
Gubsy.
Ronan, I'm gonna scooch in by you and the other two green guys.
Okay,
Which
you bet.
direction is the camera?
Back towards the campfire.
Okay. Everyone was looking that way, but I couldn't find yours.
I just brought it up.
Do we need a new call line?
Let's
Bridge?
get teacups in.
Would bridge work?
Here we go.
Or a campfire bridge,
Thanks,
maybe?
Scott.
And Jose.
Scott!
Jose, want to come in as an avatar?
Thanks for that.
Scott on one.
Jose is here.
Scott.
Scott!
Yeah, I see the sloth there.
Scott! Love these guys.
Scott.
Thank you.
What a beautiful gift to create for us for our anniversary. Thank you.
Yeah, happy 1 year. Thanks
Literal
for
bridge
co-creating Bridge Maker.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Maker. Yes,
Yes.
exactly.
Oops. Wrong button.
And all of us contribute.
He's some kind of bridge
All
maker.
right, I snapped a bunch. Should be good
Builds
picture
bridges
wise.
out of cards. It's crazy.
You gotta come see this guy, man. Ma.
Say so in.
All right, well,
Oh no!
we've got a few minutes still here before the official end of the event. If we
Wow,
wanna
we're actually on
mingle a
time.
bit.
That's amazing.
I know.
Yeah.
Time to deconstruct the bridges. We have to be mean to each other.
Awesome.
Oh no.
It's time to be mean to each other.
Mm-mm. Healthy conflicts. Healthy conflicts. We have the bridge shakers.
Gonna jump in the pit. Jump in the pit of fresh closeness.
Jumping in the pit of closeness.
Go.
No, I'm not jumping in that pit. I crashed last time.
Situation where you should
I am,
fall
but I can
in front
fly
of the
out.
bridge.
It's alright.
Is this
It
one of
won't
those
hurt.
situations?
It's
I
nice
don't
and
believe
cozy
you.
down there.
You'll
Oh,
be
I've been
fine.
down there before. I'm okay.
George, that is exactly what the lemons say. That is exactly what they say.
Fine to me.
Come. Oh, Jay,
down.
you follow me. Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
Right.
it really does go.
Well, wait. I'm legitimately scared.
Can I join you there? Like, oh, no.
No, you can't.
That's cool. Like people get to like tell their emotions.
I'm glad you were
Mm.
Yeah. I don't know if we're like Danny's gonna transition to like people